that Top of the Pop studio, if he could get fans in of the acts, that was the way that he wanted to go.
And when the show's audience wasn't at its animated best, then Michael Hurl did have his methods.
One programme I presented. Welcome to the Top of the Pop studio. The audience was, shall we say, a little lacklustre. And this big shout came out of the tannoy system, which is very unusual, which was to cut, coming to the floor. And he came down to the floor and he was puce with anger. And he said, unless this audience gets its act together, I am going to clear the studio. Everybody was petrified, and you'd never seen a more enthusiastic crowd than the one that followed that announcement. Strange man, very, very powerful man in that studio. Hello.
In truth, the man who was moving Top of the Pops into the future had a style that was close to Thatcher, taking an old-fashioned authoritarian stance.
Right, and cue track.
And fiercely enforcing Top of the Pops rules on young 80s bands.
He was very much the executive guy. He was pretty much a guy that was up in the box.
He was God. Occasionally, instructions came down from God to move this or change that, or hang on, we need to reshoot that, move the light. Okay, Steve? It was just this disembodied voice, this instruction came down from the gantry. And stand by.
And you did feel like you were being talked down to by a headmaster at a public school.
Right, where's that book gone?
And it did great, it grated a lot. And when you're recording a programme as live and you've got, us and Dexys Midnight and UB40 and Adam and the Acts all running around causing chaos, obviously had to be a bit strict to get the show done.
He didn't suffer fools. If anybody played up in that studio, he would be straight down from the gallery.
The pitter-patter of tiny feet as Michael Hurl's feet came down the metal staircase because the director's thing was quite high up. And we knew that we were in trouble and you could just hear these feet coming down. And I remember one time he just said to us, "You're an embarrassment to yourselves and the BBC." And I thought he was going to say, "and the Queen." Our sax player first got us in trouble. He did all the rehearsals with a real saxophone, and when it came to the shoot, somebody didn't notice, and by the time they panned around to Lee, he was playing a plastic saxophone. More often than not, it would include Lee doing something that hadn't been rehearsed, like leaping into the audience. And one time Lee came on with a t-shirt that said, "I need the BBC, ... and the next one said, like a hole in the head. And as he peeled that one off, I think that was when we were banned for the 4th time. Because we were banned a lot from Top of the Pops. And it was a strange dichotomy that Michael Hurl wanted you to have fun, but at the same time wanted it to look like you were seriously playing, when everybody, even people who didn't understand the recording process, knew that you were miming. Michael was starting to get us in earlier and earlier, but sometimes we disappeared. I remember one time we'd inveigled ourselves into the BBC bar, the subsidised BBC bar. We're getting in the lift, having left the bar, and the doors opened and there were hot gossip, and it was like, come on, what are you talking about? But I think there were about 6 of them. The lift held about 10 people, and there were 7 of us, but there was no way anyone in the band was going to miss out a chance to being squished in a lift with hot gossip. And then the lift got stuck. But and it was kind of like, is it our fault? Is it not our fault? But then Michael Hurl went ballistic. He would literally say, "You're not coming on the show. We're not recording it." 3 or 4, 5 weeks later, we'd have another hit, and he would just have to ask us back.
Even with that conflict, Michael Hurl's Top of the Pops now saw hordes of young teens up and dancing to the tunes of the day, including, in a somewhat surreal fashion, UB40 singing "The Earth Dies Screaming." Released after the government decided to house US nuclear weapons on British soil.
2 sites have been named as bases for cruise missiles. The American Air Force standby base at Greenham Common and Molesworth near Huntingdon in Cambridge.
All we want to do is to protect our liberty and our freedom. I have an added capability. The 100 villagers will be living with a prime military target on their doorstep.
We go up quickly, and the others might linger a little longer.
This was a period of heightened tension in the Cold War, after arms limitation talks collapsed at the end of the 70s.
If anyone dies while you are kept in your fallout room, move the body to another room.
the song Tom Hark.
Does anybody know how long till World War III? I want to know, I've got to book my holiday. They want me in the army, but I just can't go. I'm far too busy listening to the radio.
Tom Hark's this kind of bouncy playground sing-along tune, and yet it did have very apocalyptic lyrics, which were about the Third World War.
Basically me being terrified and saying, look, I'm scared of this. I'm not being macho about this. I'm terrified.
The Piranhas had earned their indie band stripes, crafted their quirky style over 3 long years on the pub and college circuit.
Now the Piranhas in a slightly less teasing mood.
I don't really want to be a rock and roll commodity.
We did 6 John Peel sessions. We quickly became kind of firmly entrenched as a John Peel band.
I don't get any stimulation from playing gigs across the nation.
We were playing gigs all over the country. Oftentimes we weren't earning a great deal of money. We had a rusty old transit van that fell apart.
It was the kind of dirt on the fingernails, black and white grit of rock and roll existence, if you like.
Bombs drop on me in my dreams.
But in August, the Piranhas' Tom Hark entered the charts. The band's rusty transit van was headed for that very first edition of Michael Hurl's revamped Top of the Pops.
When we did Top of the Pops, it was like walking through into Munchkin Land.
One Elton John.
Good evening, Peter.
Elton John comes over and says, welcome. They go, wow.
Harold Brown and hot chocolate.
Harold Brown from Hot Chocolate. Whoa.
Roxy Music and oh yeah!
We were in the queue for makeup with Brian Ferry. He'd just come back from a holiday in the Caribbean and he looked fantastic. And we said, why do you need to go to makeup? He said, just a little extra sparkle.
And the Piranhas' debut on the first revamped Top of the Pops saw their drummer discover his own brand of showbiz sparkle.
The Piranha's drummer was called Dick Slexia.
Dick was a little bit younger than us, very fit. He had a fine torso, which on the day he oiled up. I got no idea whose idea it was for Dick to play the drums with fish instead of sticks.
Playing the drums with a pair of plastic fish. But who am I to argue? I was wearing white gloves.
I think at that point we'd given up on any hope of having any credibility left after we'd done this. John Peel stopped playing us after we were on Top of the Pops, which is a source of eternal regret.
So you're going to end it like that, are you, teasers? Those are the Piranhas. Good night and good riddance.
Without realising it, we'd sold out. Not for a very high price, I must say.
I can't whistle either.
On that August night,
The summer hit from Piranhas.
Peter Powell's double act with Elton was the first of many pairings
They're going to take you for a walk in the park.
as the New Look show brought a range of guest hosts onto Top of the Pops.
Adam and the ants.
And the thing called Dog Eat Dog.
And I think old dog, eat dog.
There you are.